Today, our training is all about pipelines. We're going to talk about how to use pipelines, why we use pipelines, and what's the intention of a pipeline creation within the Freedom Nation CRM. Now, before I start here, I want to talk really quickly about what is a pipeline in business. Because to some people that might not make a lot of sense, but if you're coming here, you're probably like, what is a pipeline in business? So according to the Business Dictionary, it's an online website, the Business Dictionary, a pipeline is an activity, an item of information, material, or a product that is between starting point and completion. So to further define this, I wanted to say, why do we need pipelines? For us, the business owners right here, listening to this, it allows us to view the journey that each customer is embarking on throughout the process of engaging and enrolling in future business transactions. Now, the reason why this is the utmost importance to us is because most business in the past has been dealt with by one person and kept up with by one person has to basically do everything, right? And so, however, in this fast changing world, we know and understand that each customer is on their own journey. And we have to identify and be able to communicate effectively with that customer based on where they are in the journey. And now being able to view each stage of which the journey, the customer is in that journey, will allow us to communicate effectively. Now that's very important here. Okay, so how do we use pipelines in the Freedom Nation CRM? Okay, and this is probably an important question you guys are probably asking to yourself. Why do we need pipelines and how do we use it, right? The way that we view a pipeline, great, everybody's hopping on, so good. I'm gonna go back real quick. Liberty 4, welcome to have you. Jack, good to have you. So is Jim, so good to have you guys. Ruth, good to have you in. So how do we use pipelines inside of Freedom Nation CRM? The way we view a pipeline within the Freedom Nation CRM is kind of like how we view every customer's journey. We broke it down to 5 steps. The 5 steps to every customer in the journey comes down to these. Number 1, the lead capture phase. This is where the prospect becomes aware of your product or service you're offering. This is an awareness phase. This is an attention phase. We also call this the hit list, okay? Number 2, the lead nurture phase. This is the point where the prospects goes from awareness to interested. Now we also call this the farm club. This is the point where you've introduced your product, your service to a particular person, and they might have expressed interest. Tell me more. What's next? How do I work with you? This is the lead nurture phase, okay? And then the sales phase here is the point where the customer becomes committed and money is exchanged, okay? And this is where we call the new customer. Number 4, the delivery phase. This is where the promise that was given during the sales phase is delivered upon. Okay, resell and upsell phase. This is where the customer is introduced into the products or the services you offer, and the cycle begins again. So from step 5, we go back to step 1 for the new product and the new service. This is where we resell or upsell the customers that we took through this 4 phase. We start back at 1. So we just continue to do that process over and over. We also like to call this the net promoter score, the net promoter under the NPS rules that we will talk about in the future videos. But this right here is where we're going to start to consider more of an upsell or resell kind of phase. Is after they've been interested in what we have to offer, they're aware of it, and you've taken them through the lead nurture phase, which is where the customer becomes, or the prospect becomes aware to interested in what you have to offer. Then their commitment based on money is exchanged. We call that the new customer. Then the delivery phase, which is the basically where the promise that you have promised based on the exchange of money is delivered upon. And then the next sale is the resell upsell, is where we consider this the net promoter, or in other words, where we start to take people through that customer for life. Okay. So does everyone follow me on these 5 steps before I move forward? You could just type in the chat, yes, this makes sense. Just so I know I'm on the right track here with you guys. Put in the chat. Okay, perfect. Why? Okay, cool. So Liberty 4. Who is Liberty 4? Okay. So basically, that's how we use the pipelines within the Freedom Nation CRM. Now, how do we do it step by step? Here's the, oh, Maudo, good to have you on here, Maudo. The step-by-step process to how to find and edit a pipeline in the Freedom Nation CRM. Now, the way that you're going to do this, and you're going to get this presentation right after, but the way that you're going to do this is you're going to log into your Freedom Nation CRM app on your phone. I mean, on the computer. This is, you have to create the pipeline within the computer. Then you're going to scroll down to the settings. I'm going to stop sharing right now so I can take you through this. I'm going to explain this. Then you're going to go to search pipeline tabs, create a new pipeline. You're going to name it, create your stages your customer is going to go through. You're going to save it, and then you'll be able to view it in the opportunity section. So you don't have to take notes on this part right here. This is more of a reference to come back to, and so you can view it. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing right now so you guys can, so we can hop in here. I'm going to go in here. Mauro, David, good to have you guys on here. So I'm going to take us out of here right now, and I'm going to take us into the Freedom Nation CRM. Okay. So what we're looking at right now is the dashboard that we have been looking at over the last couple of days. Good to have all of you guys on here. The dashboard that we've been looking at over the last couple of days. Now, to create the pipeline, we're going to go down to your settings. Now, you have already been put in here in opportunities phase. You've been put in your own pipeline, but I want you guys to go here, and so you can see how the pipelines are created based on the frameworks that we just showed you. You're going to go down to your settings. What you're going to do is on these drop down here, you're going to go to pipelines. You're going to create a pipeline. So in this scenario, we're just going to name it Freedom CRM Training. And then we go ahead and we create the customer journey for our own unique needs, right? For example, let's say you sell it. You're doing car insurance. That might be right here. You can do lead capture phase, or you would put it in ours that we already put for you. It's called hit lists. And the hit list is simply that. It's creating attention and awareness for that particular product or service that you're going to offer to them. Okay, so then we're going to just call this the hit list. The second stage of this, and you can leave it hit list, lead capture, awareness phase, however you want to label it. It's just for internal, so you can see, okay, this is where the customer is in that journey. The second part is what we call either the lead capture phase, or we call it the nurture phase. I'm sorry, the farm club. Now, the reason why we call it the farm club is because we're basically putting the seeds out there for people to want to work with us, right? Like we're farming the environment that we have. Like the hit list, we talk to them and we're like, hey, would you like to come work with us? Would you like to do business with us? Would you like to do something with us? And they create that interest, and now it takes them to that next step, right? In other words, you can consider this the nurturing phase, where we take them from interested or aware to interested and then to customer. Okay, so those are like the basic frameworks behind it. And then here we'll put new customer. And you can create as many as you want here. You can create new customer. You can create, this is capture. I'm gonna put lead capture, because some of you might understand what a lead capture part is, or awareness. Okay, so this is how you guys would go ahead and create yours, right? So once you're done with this, you would just go ahead and, I'm going to take this off, and you can save it, right? This is like if you have two different things and you want to use it from there, right? But in case you guys have this one already, instead of creating one new, we've already created one for you. So all you have to do here is really just go ahead and edit the one that you have here. Since you already have the legacy selling system, now you can name it, you can change it, you can use whatever you want from it. Like, let's say, for example, you guys don't have, you know, the net promoter score yet, or you don't know what a net promoter score is. Perfect. You could just delete that and it will fall off the pipeline. And if you're just concerned with, okay, right now I just need to know about the hit list, the farm club, and the new customer, in other words, awareness phase. So this is where the customer becomes aware of what you have to offer. The second part is where they're interested in what you have to offer. And then here you could put even new business, right? Or new business or different business, right? Now, if you wanted to go ahead and just save it like that, or you can delete these right here. You can edit these your own. Again, these are our own terms, so you don't have to use these by any means. You don't have to use these Net Promoter, Top 25, or Climber. In fact, I'm just going to delete them just so you can see how it looks. Okay, so we're going to delete them. And now what you go here is now you've created your pipeline, right? And yours says legacy selling system. You can change it here. That's a great question. Mauro, great question. Can you have different pipelines? That's a great question. Yes, you absolutely can. So for example, this could be insurance, right? Or car insurance specifically. So you can get very specific about what you're talking to your customers about and what pipelines they're in and a part of, right? So insurance, car insurance. And if you go, you're done here. You've created this pipeline and you go to opportunities. Now you're going to see here, there's only 3 things, which reduces the complexity for the people that you work inside your stores and also reduces the complexity for you. And that's the key here. We don't want to over complex what has to be like what's, you can use here. Really what it becomes is, are they aware? Are they interested? And can we become new business? Right? So those are the really big keys here. And in this scenario, what we've given you initially is what we're using currently to upsell or cross sell. That's what we're using, but you can use it for new business if in the future as well. So Mauro posed a great question here about the different types of pipelines. So far, does everyone see how you would use this and how you can edit this? Just want to leave the chat open for this part before we hop into exactly how to add a different pipeline. Okay, perfect. Why? We're getting whys. Okay, good. All you have to do is type in why, if this makes sense, if you're understanding at least at this point where we are on how to create the hit list, or sorry, the pipelines. Okay, good. Good. So Mauro posed a great question about the different types. So in this scenario, we're using it for car insurance, but you can also put here, which is a great point. If I go back here, and let's say, for example, I want to create a new one and I want to create the same thing, and I just want to put life insurance, right? Or I'll put taxes here since that's relevant. Taxes. And I'm going to put hit list, right? This is the interested phase. I'm sorry, the awareness phase. These are the people that we're going to contact to become aware of what we have to offer. These are our consistent touch points for that. Then we're going to talk about the farm club, right? Now, again, these are just terms that we use. So when you see these terms, I'm trying to like relay them back to what you probably understand them to be. So this right here is the point of where someone becomes interested in what you have to sell. And then new customer, right? Exchange of business. We'll just say exchange. Right. Now you can use this for, however you want to use it. So now you have 2 pipelines. Now you have 2 different customer, 2 different types of customers and 2 different types of customer journeys that each one could be in. So if I go back to my opportunities, I want you to see how this could, how you would be able to see this in your own business, how you would see this. Okay. So, and I don't want to digress a lot from what we're actually talking about here, which is the pipelines. I don't want to digress too far into all the weeds of these things, but at a high level of this viewing, the opportunities part, all you really have to do is, you see how it says car insurance, insurance? Here, I will be able to see, okay, these are all my car insurance pipeline communication channels. This is the stages by which the customer is on right now. This is the journey that the customer is on right now based on the car insurance, right? And if I go to taxes, there should be nobody in there because there's nobody on my hit list yet, right? This is where you can add customers based on where they are in your business, and you can add them the same way that you would add the contacts, which is adding the trigger and putting the tag to it. And you'd simply put them into these things right here. So you can see now I have a different pipeline for different people. So like if Demetrius is on here, I won't talk to him about taxes. And now I can add a new person. I'm just going to add someone so you can see how this works. So I'm going to add Mauro since he's been using the name. I'm going to use Mauro here. And I'm going to go down and I'm going to put him on the new pipeline. See that? I'm going to put him in taxes. I'm going to put business taxes as his thing. So there you go. See how it says business taxes? I'll click on it. You can change it. It says Mauro. Mador. I can change it. Mador. Here. And you see here now, oh, I'm sorry, it's going a little long. Now you see that like the business taxes here, obviously you can go and change this instead of saying business tax, you can change it and it won't say. Let me see, where does it say that? There we go. So we're going to save this. And now he's going to be in here, right? Mauro Amador is going to be in this one. Oh, my internet's going slow. And this one right here, it's going to say new car insurance. And I'll be able to see, okay, so now I have people in car insurance and now I have taxes. Now I can see, okay, this is where everybody's at. I can now look over here and I can say, okay, I'm going to move Demetrius to new business or new customer. Right? And now he's a new customer. And I could start to see, okay, perfect. Now in my tax business, I can go over here and check and I can say, oh, you know what? There's a new customer here in the business taxes. I'm going to click in here. I'm going to check and see who this person is. Oh, it's Mauro. Okay, perfect. Okay. So does everyone see how that works with the opportunities? You can type in the chat. So this is basically how we use opportunities and how you can use them for your own, how you use them for your business and how you edit them and also create new ones. So you can see where everybody is in the journey. Really what a pipeline is to view the customer journey. That's really what it becomes. How do I view my customers and the journey that they're on based on the products that they want? And that's really important. That's super important. Like if I talk to Jim as, you know, he wants car insurance, but I talk to him like a different way. It's very important because he's gonna be like, well, I'm not very interested in that thing. It's totally fine, Jim. I can, we can talk about something else. And at least you'll know, okay, well, he's in the taxes. I'm going to talk to him about taxes. He's in the insurance. Let me talk to him about insurance. Okay. So that's basically how the opportunities and how the pipelines work within your business. Again, how do you edit this? You just go to settings, you go to pipelines, and you can create a new one. You can edit the one that we had initially for you. And so you can start to use it immediately. You can start putting in customers in there. And so you can start calling on these customers and being able to move them down the pipeline, down the journey, right? If I wanted to call Jim right now, I'd say, hey, Jim, okay, perfect. Jim, are you interested? Okay, you're interested. Perfect. I'm going to move you right over here. Let me move you right there. So Jim now is interested and I'm going to move him right there. So now I know, okay, I'm going to be talking to these people every day about, my business. And I'm going to talk to Jim now about, his interest in taking them to the next step, which is becoming the customer. So now right here between these 2 points, I could say, okay, well, Jim has a question about the insurance itself. So you know what, let me go here and let me add a note. And I'm just going to create a note here. I'm just going to say, oh, Jim, Nice to see. Has question about how much per month he'll pay. Right? Boom. Okay. So now if like, let's say for example, I'm Mauro in his office right now. I go in there and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm doing every day. I show up. Okay. I need to tell Elizabeth about my business. If she says she's interested, I'm gonna move her right here. She wants to go. Yes. If she doesn't, I could just, she's lost at this point for this, right? Jim, now I know exactly what to talk to him about. I can click on Jim at any point and I'll get to see, okay, what are the notes about Jim? Does this make sense, guys? Just want to make sure. Okay, so let's see. Okay, guys, so this is how we did it backwards. I'm going to go right back to where we were, step by step, how to create and how to find and edit a pipeline within the Freedom Nation CRM. Again, log into your Freedom Nation CRM app, scroll down the settings tab, search the pipelines. You can create a new or edit the one we gave you. You're going to name it, create your stages. Your customers are going to go through, you can save it, and then you're going to be able to view it in the opportunity section. So now I'm going to open it up to Q&A for the next 15 minutes. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I want to make sure that you guys are all using this. So let's open it up right now so we can start maximizing our time by using it for the things that you guys need right now. So feel free right now to unmute yourself so we can go through it.